Okay, welcome to the June 29th Board of Selectmen meeting. This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone recording it in addition to Auburn Cable Access? Hearing none, we have one item on the agenda tonight, a hearing for a National Grid petition on West Tech Drive. Is there a motion to reopen the hearing?
I'll make a motion to reopen the hearing.
Second that.
Okay. Mrs. Goodrich?
Yes.
Mr. Berthium?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We are open. It's my understanding we have someone from National Grid. If they can identify themselves for the record and give a brief overview of their proposal.
My name is Jeff Silva. I work for National Grid. The proposal is to put a manhole towards the end of West Tech Drive, just prior to the cul-de-sac, to refeed Eversource with their new configuration and electrical infrastructure that they require.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any abutters who are on the line who might have a question or a comment? Okay, hearing none. Are there any board member questions?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple questions.
Okay, Mrs. Goodrich?
Thank you. So I am interested in hearing about the time frame for this and any disruption of service to any of the surrounding businesses. If you could address that, please. Mr. Silva.
I don't see any disruption of service because they are fed at the end of the line. So because they're not in the middle, there should not be any disruptions. The time frame to put the manhole in, I would say it's going to take maybe a week because we have to form around it and then pour it in place because there is live ductwork there. So we're going to intercept the existing ductwork that feeds 10 West Tech and then put a brand new manhole to then feed their new infrastructure that's going to be going up. So we're in essence, we're doing away with the handhole at the end of the street and putting in a bigger manhole for us to be able to work more safely and more diligently.
Okay. Mrs. Goodrich, are you all set, or do you have some more questions?
And thank you for that. I'm not familiar with who the abutters are up there, but I would feel better. I don't think I need to include it in a motion for approval, but just if you can, notify any surrounding businesses up there that, what the scope of the work is, the time frame, let them at least know that y'all be up there doing this work so they can be aware of it.
Typically, when if and when we will shut power off, we usually coordinate with them to make sure that it's not on a peak hour and to make sure that they're not working per se. So if we do the work on a weekend, then typically they're not working there on the weekends, but we do schedule with them to make sure that everything is okay on their end. You know what I mean?
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
So even if so that's why I feel it's even more important to make sure you notify abutters. I mean, especially so any business could have an opportunity to turn down, shut down computers or whatever, so any
Correct.
work isn't lost. So,
Correct.
So, but you said you didn't anticipate, and when you first spoke, you said you didn't anticipate there being a disruption of service. So
I do not, because they are at the end of that line, and that line only feeds them. So
Okay.
what happens is there's a redundant feed that feeds from, I believe it's 6 West Tech, and then 7 West Tech, which comes off of each of those transformers and feeds 10 West Tech. So if one of those feeder lines goes out, we can backfeed them from another transformer. So there's nobody in between them that would be impacted.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Any other board member comments? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Close the hearing. There's a motion to close the hearing. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mrs. Goodrich,
Yes.
Mr. Berthium,
We're getting a lot of feedback, but yes, I vote yes.
yeah, I'm hearing the same feedback. I'm not sure who is on the line that's causing that.
I believe if Mr. Silva can mute his phone, that might help.
I can, but I'm on a headset, which is actually noise canceling, so it wouldn't be me.
Well, I'm happy
Thank you.
to make a motion.
Okay, we haven't voted on the closing yet, so
Oh,
let's
sorry.
do that. No, that's okay. Mrs. Goodrich,
Yes.
Mr. Berthium,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Okay, the hearing is closed. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the petition by Massachusetts Electric Company doing business as National Grid for the underground electric conduit location at West Tech Drive, provided that abutters are properly notified of any disruption in service.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's a motion, there's a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mrs. Goodrich,
Yes.
Mr. Berthium,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Okay, the petition is granted. Thank everybody. Before we accept a motion to adjourn, is there anything, Mrs. Jacobson, that you might have, or?
No, I'm all
We
set.
only have this one item.
All set. That's the only item. Want to thank you all for having this meeting tonight to move this along for National Grid. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Are there any last board member comments or questions? All right, hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Okay, a motion and second. Mrs. Goodrich,
Yes.
Mr. Berthium,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Everybody have a
Thank you,
good 4th of July and a nice
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
4th.